Vince. Hey, I want to say happy birthday, brother. This is actually from Christian, Mom, Ethan, and Blake. So keep on rocking, shout the devil, and do some feel good stuff at big old 4-0, you man. All right, see you later.
All right.
My favorite things.
See you later.
My favorite parts are in between the words.
Hey, and go big old 4-0, brother. All right.
Eat an apple a day, brother.
He knows damn
shout
well
out the
he's not
devil.
going to see Tucker later.
Bethany and Sean. We are a couple of nuts talking.
He knows damn well.
Who's Tucker?
That's what he said. Happy birthday, Tucker. Isn't that what he says?
I don't know.
Pretty sure he's...
I thought we weren't going to talk about this, and you were just going to play it.
I was, but it's hard not to talk about something.
How can you just play that and then just go, okay?
Yeah. Man.
That's what by the way, that was my point in the beginning of
I wonder what he's up to right now. Decker. Tucker.
Maybe. We don't even know
He
if that's
said
his name.
Tucker. Decker?
Decker, I guess.
Huh. I don't know. Happy birthday, brother. I wonder what Vince Neil's doing.
Can you imagine if you were like in his circle and then when he calls, that's just how he answers the phone for you.
Hey, Brecker. What's up, man? Everybody's just...
Hey, Shawnee, shout out the devil. What are you doing right now?
Hey, shout out to going dance on with the girls. Girls. Hey, no, everybody's just Decker to him. Hey, Decker.
Yeah, that's just what he calls. That's a sweet term.
His daughter
for him.
calls. Hey, Decker.
Yeah.
Pause it really quick because I have to. Is it recording?
Yes.
Oh my God. That was crazy.
I mean, was it though? Is it just a normal
No.
blowout?
Like, I mean, maybe because we haven't had a bunch of lettuce in a while and it just went straight through me or what?
It's definitely not the lettuce. We just ate salad.
Holy shit.
Or maybe it pushed something
I think
forward.
it pushed. Maybe because of all the barbecue we had yesterday.
Yeah, that's a lot of barbecue.
Wow.
So we had an incident yesterday
Yeah,
at
we did.
about 8:00 last night. We were,
It was really chaotic now that I think about it.
yeah, and rightfully so.
Well, so we were out all day
Mm-hmm.
and we got home. And we should have learned this by now, but our cat Cookie always throws up when we get home and we feed them their soft food dinner.
She is extremely attached to me, and she's like high anxiety.
Yeah, whenever I leave, she gets
No,
really when I get
nothing
home,
about
and
you.
she's like,
Wow.
"Oh, Papa, you're home."
No, she thinks I'm going out with you to kill you, and when I come home and you're still there, she's like,
Okay.
no.
She doesn't know what that is. But anyways, we got home. I don't know. We gave them like 20, 30 minutes to calm down from when we got home. We feed them.
They're like dogs. They get so excited when we get home.
Yeah.
They play with each other and roll around and dart in rooms.
We have some sandals by the front door and a cat scratcher. And Cookie was standing on the cat scratcher. You just hear. I mean, you could hear that. We know what's going on whenever you're. And it's Cookie, and she's gagging. And I tried to get under her with a piece of paper to stop it, but a little bit got on Bethany's sandal. Yada, yada. I washed the sandal off. I walked back into the room, and there's just a giant.
Like, I don't know how we missed.
Totally missed it.
Didn't hear her initial, like,
Yeah.
didn't hear that. We must have been enthralled in our conversation.
Just a giant
per usual
pile of kitty vomit. So I'm like, fuck, oh my God, Cookie. And then I'm cleaning it up. And then in the middle of me cleaning it up, you hear which is
Our
Bethany's car alarm. It's the car alarm goes off. We heard a clink, and then the car alarm starts going off. So
And both of us are now like, we're like Pavlov's dog when they hear the bell and it just starts salivating. We hear my car alarm and immediately jump up.
it's not the smartest thing. Yeah.
It isn't, because we're in pajamas, first of all. Okay. And then second of all, we just dart out the door in whatever we're wearing. I didn't even check what I was wearing. I had no bra on.
Yeah.
I have see-through pants on. I have you had shorts and a tank top on, and actually it was cold. It was like 58.
Yeah, no shoes or I just had socks on.
I only had socks too, but so what happens is we both dart out. We look at each other always, and then he just runs out and he grabs the keys.
Well, no, I grabbed pepper spray.
Oh,
too.
pepper spray and the keys, and he runs out. Now afterwards, I immediately run out, but I grab both of our sandals, our flip-flops, and then I turn my phone on. Immediately.
Gotta film it.
I film it walking, running down the stairs. So anyways, we run down the stairs. I hand him his flip-flops.
I didn't even put them on until like 30, 40 minutes later.
Of course, because this is what happened. So I run downstairs. I'm filming, and I just hear Sean say what?
What did I say? Oh, I walked down there. Well, I was like, what are you doing? So anyways, I get down there because I figured it was like a vagrant or,
We have so much homeless
Yeah.
coming through the alley by where we're parked,
And we're parked by a dumpster, and there's 24/7. There's just people going through the dumpster, and the car alarm is very sensitive. So if you slam the lid down, you'll get like a bam, 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 like it won't fully go off, but it gives us a little warning honk. And so, anyways, full throttle honking, and I go down there. I'm expecting to find like a homeless man or whatever, some
just
addicts.
vagrants.
Yeah, and that's not what I saw. What was down there was these two little girls.
Like two prepubescent girls.
Yeah, I want to
that
say
11?
probably like 11 and 12. And one of them's looking at the trunk of the car. Oh, okay, there's no damage. And I'm looking at her like, what? And she has a pine cone in her hand, one of those really like not yet opened up pine cones.
Didn't she pop up though? Because she was picking up the pine cone.
Yeah. So she popped up from behind the pine cone or the trunk, the car, and I said, "What's going on? What are you guys doing?" And then she said, "Oh, there's no damage." And she was talking to her sister though. She wouldn't acknowledge me at all. And then I, quick look at the car and me. I look at the car all the time, so I know if there's something wrong with it, a dent or something. Sure enough, there's this big ass dent on the top of the trunk, and I'm like, "Whoa, yeah, there is. Look at this. There's a dent right here."
Lots of attitude.
Yeah, I was real,
I mean, rightfully so,
heated.
honey.
I was
rightfully
heated.
so.
I was heated, and and then she's like, oh, and then I was like, "Where's your mother? Where's your parents?"
Now I'm there already by this time.
Yeah, I said, "Get your camera out, honey. Film. Are you filming this?"
I was like, I'm filming. I'm already filming, and I was on them the whole time, so they totally admit it.
Yeah,
on
she has the
film.
pine cone in her hand,
And she's like, I'm sorry. She just kept saying, I'm sorry.
Yeah, first there's,
I'm sorry.
Okay, there's no damage. It's like, first of all, you're fucking 11 and you don't know
And you
anything
can't even
about
see above
anything.
the car.
Oh, God. The entitlement with these kids. But I get it. I was a little asshole, too.
I wasn't.
But so she threw a pine cone, apparently. I don't know how, or she threw it directly at the car, like.
And let me say this.
Just full
This
throttle.
is not a normal pine cone, because in fact, I didn't see the pine cone until about a couple minutes in, but I just kept hearing it. And then when I saw
it's the one that's not open
actual
yet.
Pine cone, it's almost a foot long.
Yeah,
I'd say
long.
it's like 10 inches.
It's big.
And I'd say diameter is at least 3 inches.
There's no trees around. There is up the block, like
Yeah,
towards the end of the block. There's a pine cone tree or whatever.
But
pine
it's
tree.
rock hard.
Yeah.
It's heavy and
It's
rock hard.
dangerous.
I've
It's a
never
weapon.
seen one like that before. And then when I looked at it, I was like, hell yeah, this is going to give damage.
I mean, what did she do? It's like she threw it directly at the car, and then it hit off our car and hit the car parked next to us, made a huge hole
in their tail light.
our neighbor's tail light. And it's just like, what the fuck are you doing?
Lots of damage, guys.
Oh my God.
So anyways, I come out, like I'm talking to them now, and Sean, luckily, thank God, was there, because he was like, where's your parents? Because I know that I would have felt so bad because they were kids.
Yeah.
That I would have ended up neglecting my needs, which is my car and fixing it and how much it's going to cost. And I would just be like, oh, okay, it's fine. Because they started crying. They want you to feel bad, and they start crying like, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. But then they did just run off into the garage.
They would have. The one that was acting really like sorry.
Suspicious.
She was, she had her little mask on, and she was looking really sad, putting her hand over her mouth, even though she had her mask on. She had her hand up. She was like a little cartoon character.
But it wasn't real like crocodile tears.
They
yeah.
didn't, and that's why I didn't feel too bad. Like I felt kind of bad because they looked kind of scared because I probably looked really scary to them. But I didn't really feel too bad because it was crocodile tears.
So then I went in to the garage to see the mother, and the kids had run in before me, and they were speaking another language to each other. And the mother just looks at me and she's like, "What's wrong? What damage?" And I was like, "Oh, they threw a pine cone. They hit my car. I don't even remember. Like it's all kind of blurry, but I was like,
well,
and
then
she
we
was
walked back and I was like, brand new car too.
Right.
Brand new car. And I point to it. I was still kind of giving a little bit of two.
You were. And I said, "Yeah, it's a brand new car." And then she was like, "Oh, it doesn't matter if it's a brand new car. We would fix it. We'll pay for it." And she was like, "Do you want just money? You want a check?" And I was like, "Well, I don't know how much it's going to cost.
Yeah.
Like, it's not about just like, figuring it out today." So anyways, we exchanged information. It was a lot of rigmarole. We ended up meeting one of our neighbors.
And then, a guy that lived in the building, he came down because he got his catalytic converter stolen. That's happening a lot everywhere, I guess. Catalytic converters. He had his stolen. So he was like, "Oh, someone tried to break into your car?" And we're like, "No."
Yeah, it was
It was
like, no,
actually
it wasn't vagrants. It was the children of yesteryear.
It was these little kids.
No, that's not right. It was the children of our future.
Like, I'm still trying to think, what the fuck did they do? Did she just throw it directly at the car? Because that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to imagine there's no way that thing, if she threw it, bounced off the ground, went up, and then boom, boom. Unless she's got like
it wouldn't
the
have
arm
been
of
able to. That's what I was thinking. Like she's like bionic woman.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have had to have been direct impact for both of those things.
And like she couldn't even. I was like, what are you guys doing? And she's like, "Well, no, we found this pine cone over there, and I thought, but and then there was, and I was like, I just wanted to know really like, how did this even happen?
Yeah, like I wanted to be like, can you give us a reenactment?
Like, what did you do?
Yeah.
And then so now we got the pine cone in the trunk.
And then there's this one great snippet where we discovered. See, at first we didn't know it hit the neighbor's car.
Yeah.
And so.
I picked up on that a little later.
And then I wasn't able to confirm with the neighbor, so I ran up to the mother who was in the car with the kids. They were driving away, and I waved to her to stop, and she stopped. And when I got to the door, the window was down, and I could hear the little girls going, "We didn't do it.
Right.
We didn't do it." Now, we had already discussed they did it. I got them on film saying they did it, and then I said, we think we saw damage on the neighbor's car as well. And then she got out of the car, and then it was like all of a sudden she didn't believe they did anything.
Right.
Like all of a sudden now, we're setting these children up.
Right.
It's just like
we sought you out for like, come on.
Yeah.
Just fucking fix it and shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
But so that was our night. And then we ended up talking to a guy for like 2 hours. I was freezing cold in my shorts and tank top, and
it was a good conversation, but we are freezing.
yeah, it was a nice conversation.
We have to get better at this, but we have to get better at just taking care of our needs. And when we were cold and hungry, we should have been like, "Man, it was really nice meeting you.
Yeah,
we got to go inside."
we got to get back inside.
Yeah,
We're neighbors. I'm sure
instead,
we'll see you around.
2 hours goes by.
Yeah.
I'm frozen. Like, we came in the house and turned the heat on. I don't even know if this is interesting, but it was quite a night.
It was an interesting night. It was a fun day. We were out and about, and
came home exhausted.
Yeah.
Exhausted. So we were already spent before the next half of our night.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we came home and just crashed.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was our night. So, thanks for taking a walk with us, guys.
Yeah.
They were exciting night. Oh, and then I had to come back up and finish cleaning up Cookie's vomit.
Right. We totally forgot about the vomit.
And then kind of just zoned out watching Cops Reloaded, which is airing again. Cops was taken off the air for a while. And
one of your all-time favorite shows.
One of my all-time favorite programs. The longest-running reality show on television, Cops. And it's back on the Reels channel. Friday nights, they play it all night. I mean, you're getting like a DVR set. We're getting 10 episodes, stacking them up, burning through them. It's back, baby. Bad boys, what you want,
what you gonna
what
do
you gonna do
when the sheriff comes down for you? Hey, everybody gonna tickle the brigade. Everybody gonna give him no break. Hey, but isn't that funny? We have heard that song watching so
Still don't
many,
know the
and we
lyrics.
still don't know the lyrics.
That is funny. What was their name? Public Image or no?
No, it was. Isn't it like an animal, like dogs or?
No, that's not. You're thinking of Who Let the Dogs Out.
Yeah, I am.
Cops.
No, it's a.
Song. That was come on. Song. Bad Boys. Riders of Cops. Inner Circle was their name.
Inner Circle, yes.
Reggae band. But
One-hit wonders.
One-hit wonders. But so Cops is easily one of my favorite shows. Sometimes it's kind of hard to watch. No joke, obviously. But there's some magic in these episodes. And a running theme with a lot of these guys that get caught, or girls,
That's my favorite.
they get caught, you know, they're up to no good, they're doing some drugs, so the cops pat them down, and they find the drugs, and they're like, what is that doing in there?
What is it?
What
Who's
is that
that? That's
doing?
not mine.
And then they say, that's not mine, and then the cops are like, oh, just found it in your pocket. Oh, that's not my pants.
These aren't my pants. No, look at them. Do they look like my pants? I love that.
That's not my pants.
They always ask the question, like, you think I would do that? You think I would rob
Right.
someplace and that?
Oh, okay, sir. Oh, these aren't your pants. All right, guys, cut them loose.
Yeah.
Like, what do they think the outcome is going to be by saying these aren't my pants?
My favorite, too, is when they full on run. They evade the police and run.
Yeah.
And they're tough guys and they're running and then they get caught. And they just start boo-hooing, crying, I'm hurt, help me, I'm so sad, please, officer, I didn't mean to do it.
Yeah.
It's like, it is comedy.
Yeah.
And a lot of times you're like, this is scripted, isn't it? And
Sometimes it seems very scripted.
because it seems impossible.
There was this one episode, no joke, the cop had one leg, okay, and he had a prosthetic leg, and a guy, you know, sizes him up, takes off, hops over a fence. This fucking cop flies over the fence, tackles him, gets him. One-legged cop. Imagine that being, you're in jail. You're like, oh, man, fucking one-legged cop got me, man. I ran away from him, and he ran faster than me.
I don't think they would tell the story.
Probably not. I fucked those fools.
They'd be
up
like
or
this.
something.
They'd be like, this two-legged cop. And then the other perp will be like, why'd you say two legs, man? Is it the one with one?
Yeah.
Otherwise, no one says that two-legged hot
yeah,
girl.
what's going on? Why are
Yeah.
they saying the two legs, man?
What's the two legs got to do with it?
Man, I remember. Truth be told, I've been to jail a couple times. Everybody.
like you can't tell by looking at you.
Yeah, I get that. I also, hey, real quick, I do background work just for some fun money, and it's easy work. I always get calls for perpetrators or jail or prison guys.
Yeah.
Like that's what they call me for.
Which is funny because as soon as he opens his mouth or smiles, you're like, this guy's a teddy bear.
Yeah.
But on initial,
I guess I'm scary looking.
yeah, you're like, what is this guy? You're
weird.
covered in hair.
That's true.
And
Yeah, but you don't see whatever. You can't judge a book by its cover. That was the point of me saying. One time I got popped, and this was in my day of using drugs, and I was attempting to acquire drugs one day, and cops followed me and busted me, and so I got busted for attempted possession. But anyways, so I'm in the Van Nuys jail, sitting there, waiting, and they bring in this other guy, really nicely dressed. Kind of looked like the crazy guy from like Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, the Hispanic drug lord guy, the crazy one. He always plays. He actually looked exactly like him.
wow.
And he came in and he was all sweaty, but he had like a nice shirt on, nice dress slacks, dress shoes, dress jacket, and I was just like, whoa, like, what the fuck is this guy doing in here? Don't judge a book by its cover. I was like, I don't know how we got to talking, but here's a rule. You don't ask someone, hey, so what are you doing in
Yeah,
here? You
yeah,
don't ask
yeah.
that. I made that mistake because that's just what I do. I make conversations
Right.
with people in awkward situations.
Well, and we're curious.
Yeah, so I was like, dude, what are you doing in here, man? You look like you're dressed. He's like, I just fucking stole a car, homie. That was a high-speed chase. He was just part of a high-speed chase, this guy.
Wow.
And they got him, and they maced his face, and he was in the Van Nuys jail. And then I'm pretty sure he said, it's none of your fucking business. So I was like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, you're right. I'm sorry about that.
Did you apologize?
I probably did.
Oh God, I feel like that's like the wrong thing to do in jail.
It wasn't like I wasn't in county jail. This was just the Van Nuys kind of city jail. So it wasn't like you have to fucking
Peacock.
prove yourself or anything like that. And then, they transfer you, whatever. And before I was going to see the judge, I was sitting there and I had my legs crossed, but like tight,
Yeah, like a
one
girl.
over the other. I guess and one guy was like, you better not fucking cross your legs like that in county, fool. And I was just like, oh my God.
Wow. Well, I think he was looking out for you.
He did. And I said, oh, okay. I was like, oh, okay.
And then he was
was my
like,
response.
maybe this fool should.
Oh my God. I got to tell you guys, jail is trippy as fuck. I want to go a little deeper real quick.
Yeah, please.
So I did. Okay. I've been arrested a couple times, guys. I've lived kind of a, one of those lives, whatever. It is what it is. I got DUI.
Bad boys.
But, yeah, what you want, what you want to do.
Sean.
Yeah, my edition. So I got a second DUI. Okay, this was about 10 years after my first DUI. And when you get a second one, it's mandatory jail time. You have to go into county jail for a certain amount of time. And there's a ton of fines, thousands of dollars. And you can also opt to take more jail time for less fines. So I was like, fuck
That's
it.
of course what you're picking. Yeah.
Whatever. I'll take more time. It is what it is. I turn myself in. They take me down to the Twin Towers, downtown L.A. I get down there. Oh, man. It's crazy. And they break you up by race. Like it's whites with whites, blacks with blacks, browns with browns. So whatever. You get in there. It's cold. It's just concrete everywhere. And they put everybody in this big old holding cell to process you. So then they get you one at a time, process you in, and then you all go to the showers. We all strip down naked. They make you spread your cheeks, check your butthole, make sure you're not bringing anything in. Yeah, you got to cough so your butthole kind of puckers out. Boop. See if there's any druggies
I might want
up
you
there.
to cough in front of me so I can see that
I could
live.
do that.
Yeah.
I could do that. So then you get into the showers, and it's just a bunch of naked dudes, and you're showering, and it's the really hard water shooting out of the.
Ooh, yeah,
It
that's
hurts.
nice.
It hurts.
Oh.
You get some powder soap.
Depends where that hard water hits, babe.
It hurts. It
Oh,
hurts. And you get some
okay.
powder soap, and you wash yourself, and then they put you in your blue jumpsuit, essentially. Just
Babe, you look good in blue.
I know. I felt that looked pretty good. I didn't shave then. This was before I had the full-on beard, which I've had for a few years now. But so I had some scruff, and
Were you disappointed you didn't have a orange jumpsuit since it's your favorite color?
I really wasn't thinking about that.
Okay.
I was really thinking about
The
my
jail
God,
part.
yeah. I got sentenced to 27 days. 27
Years.
days I got
Oh.
sentenced to
Mm-hmm.
for the fines in the second DUI, and then they take you and you wait to go into the bigger dorm room looking thing where there's just bunk beds. There's just so many bunk beds. And you get in and you walk through, and it's just it's horrifying. And then there's a person from each race standing there waiting for the new member of their crew.
Yeah.
So they come up to me and they're like, yo, are you a Wood? Are you a Peckerwood? And I was just like, what? And they're like, are you a Wood? Are you a Peckerwood? And I was like,
Or you're like, I'm a Jew.
and I was like, I definitely didn't say that.
No?
I was like, I don't know. What? They're like, are you white? And I said, yeah.
Cool question mark?
Yeah, question mark.
Yeah.
I mean, look at me. And then
Only if that's the right answer.
yeah,
Did you
so-
want that to be your answer?
So he said, all right. And I said, yes. And he's like, all right, come on. And then he took me and like another white guy, and they were all huddled up. It was like I don't fucking know what it was like. It was crazy.
It sounds like high school.
It was kind of like
other
high
than the
school.
race thing being separated, it just sounds like there were cliques.
There's cliques, 100%. And so you go to your little gang of white people, and I went there, and they gave me a rundown. They gave me the rules. They're like, sheriffs come in, they check your wristband, you keep your head down, you don't look them in the eyes. So
They're
cool.
like wolves.
Yeah, and then one guy was actually, it was really sweet. He got me like an extra pillow. I thought that was really nice.
Well,
scary
he
looking
probably,
guy.
yeah, he probably wanted something later on for that.
I don't know what was going on, but
Isn't it a thing where like if you take something, you owe something?
I mean, it's very possible. But I did have an extra peanut butter and jelly sandwich that I gave to him. So
you were even, Steven.
So I think it was even Steven.
Mm-hmm.
And this other dude that was part of the crew, this tall, kind of lanky white guy, musician guy who just was a heroin addict in and out of jail his whole life. So he ended up giving me the rest of the rundown. He took me to all the toilets. There's certain toilets and certain sinks. Like there's pee-pee toilets, and then there's poo-poo toilets, and then there's like toilets to wash stuff in. And then there's certain sinks that you can brush your teeth in this one, and then you can wash your hands in this one, or you can wash your face in this one. And everything's exposed. Like the toilets are just there's like fucking 10 or 15 toilets just next to each other, lined up, no partitions, no nothing in between. Everything's in the open.
I understand why they'd have 3 toilets, because the last thing you want is 2 people taking a shit, and then all these people have to pee,
right?
And you can't. So that makes sense.
There's a system to this place. They let the inmates run it. There's a system, and it works. I mean, it's crazy and scary if you're never experienced anything like that. It's pretty shocking.
Why do I have a feeling, though, that women's jail doesn't run like that?
I don't know.
Because I can't imagine a woman wanting to control where another woman took a shit or put their tampon.
I don't know. Maybe
but I mean,
these
yeah.
types of, you
Yeah,
don't know
you're
those
right.
types
Who
of
knows?
people. So maybe,
That's
I mean,
true.
it's me. I am those types of people. But
Right.
So where was I going with this? Oh, yeah.
Toilets and...
So that's it. And then you go in there and, the sheriffs come in and they do like checks to make sure everybody's there. So that's when you put your head down and you lay down on your bed and you stick your arm out. And there's different groups.
Like face up?
No,
You're laying
face
down?
You put your head down like this, face, your forehead on your arm, and you don't look at them. And you just have your wristband out with your arm like that. And so there was like, there was the white group and then the black group, and then there was like paisas, which are Hispanic guys, but not like the gangbanger ones. And then there's, I don't know, I think it's like 3rd Street or something. Then there's like a gangbanger. So they have 2 different groups. And the sheriffs come in and they're doing the check. And one of the little paisa guys that came in with me and my group, I guess he didn't listen or he didn't understand. So all I hear is, "Don't fucking look at me, man. Don't fucking look at me." The sheriffs laying into this guy. Like the sheriffs were mean. I'm not going to lie. They were fucking hardcore, but they're dealing with hardcore people.
Yeah.
So
I think it's like military. You have a persona so that you're respected.
you have to be
from
tough.
the jump.
Right.
Yeah.
You got to be tough or else you're just going to get taken advantage or whatever. So the guy is looking up, I guess, and, the sheriff. So that makes his group look bad. It makes it look like his group didn't give him the rundown, give him the rules of the jail. So after the sheriffs leave, the paisa group, just the leader of that group yells out, "Bathroom is off limits for 5 minutes."
Oh, no.
Oh, man, they take this poor little... I mean, he must have been in his 50s, this guy. Like, he maybe got a DUI. Same with me, probably a 2nd D, 3rd D, whatever. Like, I don't know what his story was, but they take him into the bathroom, and you just hear yelling, and you hear, like hits happening. And it's so fucked up. And then, after the 5 minutes...
It's a long time of
beating.
beating.
Yellings and beatings. They beat their own. And then he came walking out just holding his arms, like shaking, shivering. He was soaking wet. Like they doused him, and he was just wet and all red from getting hit and beat up. And so that was just like the first few hours of me entering Twin Towers. And then there's one TV up in this giant room, this like old TV, and there was camaraderie though. When the TV went out, everybody went quiet for prayer, and everybody prayed at the same time. Before that though, I should also, there's people walking around like trying to trade shit. Like one dude's like, "I got 2 cans of soup. I got 2 cans of soup. Anybody want to trade? Like people are trade. It's like barter town in there.
Mm-hmm.
So you could trade ramen and soup and all this crazy ass shit. And then the lights go out and I'm just laying there in the dark. I'm like, oh my God, this is my life the next month. I'm just, holy shit. And then, 3 a.m. rolls around and somebody tugs my foot. Yeah.
That's what I was going to ask. Like,
Yeah.
I would just think hands would be touching.
3 a.m, I'm on the top bunk. Someone tugs my foot. I'm like, oh, fuck. And they're like, hey, you're getting out of here. So I'm like, oh, my God.
Oh, good. It was a cop.
Yeah.
Thank God.
It wasn't a cop. It was like a trustee, someone who is an inmate but does the cleaning, brings the food, and then wakes people up when they're. So they woke me up at like 3 a.m. and.
I love that you were able to sleep. You weren't scared. Like
it wasn't.
I would be.
I was scared.
Petrified.
No, I was scared.
I don't think I'd be able to sleep for the first week.
I don't know if I was asleep. I think it was to the point where I was just kind of laying there, exhausted, and in and out of it. And so they woke me up. It was a nonviolent crime. Even the sheriffs were like, You're going to be out of there within a day or two. Like, don't.
But then you didn't have it counted towards the long version where you didn't have to do fines, or
right, it counted, yeah. And then I had time served because of the when I got the DUI, I spent the night in jail, the drunk tank, so that counted towards it as well. And then then they processed me out, which took another 6 to 8 hours. And,
who knew that when our listeners would chime in, or what's that called?
Chime in, listen in. I just thought it'd be interesting
they would
for them
get like a 20-30 minute.
I mean, if you've never been to jail and you're interested what it's like, you just got a little glimpse.
Here's a little instructions for an outline of if you were to go in jail.
Yeah.
I find it very interesting because I, unlike you, have never been to jail.
Right.
I've never even looked at one or gone on a field trip or had to visit anybody. Like, I do not know what that is or looks like, except I watched that 60 Days In.
Yeah.
Which I was scared for them constantly.
I think those are more prisons.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
But
still, I mean, for someone who's never done it, either would be equally terrifying.
Yeah. It's a terrifying place. I mean, it's terrifying for everybody, I feel like. I mean, there are, career criminals that go in and out and just don't know anything different. And that's how they live, Oh, I found out that some people purposefully get arrested to smuggle drugs in because you can sell and make so much money from selling drugs in jail.
But how do they have money in jail?
You get
commissary,
money.
But I thought you have to buy something with it.
I think you get some sort of like credit card thing.
Yeah.
That they load up with money. So they transfer it you can transfer it to another person.
Oh.
Say if you buy a fucking book or some ramen off them, you can transfer a certain amount to them.
So when you leave, you get to take the money left?
It's like your EDD credit card.
Of course, yeah.
So, and you can up the price on the drugs because it's so hard to come by in jail. And
but if they make you cough to make your butt open, where are they smuggling
I don't know.
it?
I really don't.
Unless they have an insider.
I'm sure they do. I'm sure they do, or they have ways of getting it in other ways. It's
an organized.
Hey boys, what you want? What you want? What you gonna do
when Sheriff Brown comes for you?
So that was like a whole episode of Cops I just gave you right there.
Honey, yes, it is.
You're welcome. Who knew? I didn't know we were gonna be talking about that today.
I mean, we talked about a car and a pine cone, so of course the natural progression is to talk about you going to jail.
Yep. Been there. Got any questions? Go ahead and comment. Go ahead and talk to us. Reach out to us. I'd be happy to answer your questions. I'm very open about my life now. This is a new chapter. I want to be an open book for the world.
Okay. Who are you looking at and smiling at right now?
God.
Oh, good. That's good.
Yeah. So here's something we wanted to do.
What?
We're going to hop on Google, which we don't recommend, but we do it still sometimes.
Yeah, we're DuckDuckGo.
We are DuckDuckGo people, but it's just the engine, the Google machine runs smoother, and you kind of get a little more information.
Yeah, I mean, that's a total diss to DuckDuckGo.
I mean, I love DuckDuckGo. But so what we wanted to do was we wanted to type in a few words into Google, like a lot of people do, like how come my, and then see what pops up.
Yeah. And so I just started typing in what if there's, like THERE''S, and then let's just see where the internet takes us. What if there's a first one on the list?
First one.
Bump on your vag.
And I love that it's spelled vag.
Yeah, like they didn't even have time to spell out the whole vagina.
That's a girl thing, huh? You guys call it, or that's
But
a
you have
person
to
with a vagina.
understand-
That's called, you guys call it a vag.
Right. But you have to understand that if it's the first one on the list, it is the most asked question when people type this in. And that means most every woman calls it a vag. I don't think so.
Right?
I say vagina. I
Yeah.
would type in vagina.
Vagina.
Yeah, either one. But the fact that it just stops at vag,
Yeah.
or are they in such a hurry to figure out what that bump is? They're like, I
Right.
can't even, I'm so scared.
Right.
And they just hit return prematurely.
Have you ever typed that in?
I have never typed that. I don't have a bump on my vagina. But,
That's okay if you do. I read it here. It says it's a normal occurrence, by the way. I clicked on it.
yeah, what kind of bump are they talking about? Like,
Lumps on the vagina can be a normal occurrence. Vaginal lumps are not usually painful. However, when lumps on the vagina grow too large,
is it like a lymph node?
cause bleeding or pain, or result
Oh,
in
Jesus.
infection, they might require treatment. Anyone who develops vaginal lumps or experiences any other symptoms should see a doctor. So it doesn't say what it is. It just says that it's a normal occurrence.
Well, I would just assume if I got a bump on my vagina, it would be like an STD of some sort.
Well, you can get a pimple there, it looks like.
Well, yeah. Well, see, these things mean different things to me. When I hear bump, now I used to think like no skin abrasion, just like no penetration to skin, just a bump under the skin, right?
Yeah.
Like a zit without a head on it.
Yeah.
But now I hear people think of as bump as like red, inflamed.
Yeah.
But and this stuff matters, right? If you say pimple to me, I know what that means.
Right.
If you say tumor, if you say open sore, oh gosh,
Oh, man.
right? So when I hear bump, yeah, I mean,
Well, it says, yeah, well, then they also refer to them as lumps. And it says they're...
see, now lumps are different than bumps to me.
Oh, well,
Lump to me would mean like a tumor or a cyst or something underneath the skin.
yeah. So it's really not, I mean, something to be too worried about here. It's like it's very common. Vaginal bumps and lumps are common, especially during your childbearing years or as you age. So, yeah, they could be pimples, boils, ingrown hairs, cysts, or a Bartholin's cyst, which is a fluid-filled swelling
Mm-hmm.
in the Bartholin's glands, which lubricate the vagina. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Bartholin's glands?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, I didn't know that. What's a Bartholin? Why do they
It's a
call it?
gland.
But
He's
why do they
probably
ca-
the guy who found it.
Oh shit.
I'm sure it's a dude.
Bartholin glands located on each side of the vaginal opening. These glands secrete fluid that helps lubricate the vagina. Oh man.
Did you just think it was magic? Did you think we're just swallowing our spit so fast?
No, I didn't know it was called a Bartholin though. Like what the heck?
It's probably from Barcelona.
Oh.
Yeah. The man who invented it. I mean, who found
Bartholins.
it.
Bartholins. I'm just trying to find out who that is. So tell me more about your Bartholins, babe.
You already did. They're just glands on either side of the opening,
Okay.
and it's what lubricates. And sometimes they can get, just like any other place that's lubricated, you can, if it dries out, you can get sores on it. You can get bumps. And sometimes they can close up, and then you have to get that,
I mean,
removed.
okay. So it's named after Thomas Bartholin.
Told you. I told you it'd be a man, and then he named it after
How
himself.
does that make you feel?
Do you know how many men's names on my vagina I have because of all the things they discovered? I'm using finger quotes.
Oh man, you should see what this guy looks like. He's
Let
got
me-
long. He's got long
Hold on.
hair.
Hold on. Let me tell you who discovered what's on a vagina first. Women.
A woman.
Women did.
Whoever had the
So the
vagina.
fact that all these things are named after men is appalling.
Well, Okay, so he's old school.
Yeah, you better change the subject.
He's old. No, I was just talking about him. He's born in 1660.
Let me see him.
Danish physician,
Again.
mathematician.
Wait, again. 1616. That's when the man first discovered these glands. This is what I'm talking about.
Okay, but like,
How long has a woman's vagina been around?
I know.
Right?
Forever.
And they didn't fucking say anything until 1616. Let's go down here and name some things.
Well, I'm guessing this is when they started to like inspect the body and figure things out. Before then, it was just like nobody was anything. Nobody cared about anything. You just had stuff. You had a dick and a vagina and boobs, and you didn't think of what it does.
You just did.
You just did. And then, the time of medicine came and they started to study things, and you got Thomas Barthel in here who studied vaginas. He was a mathematician.
Again, right there.
Sketchy.
That proves my point.
Sketchy.
Like, why are you doing math and then all of a sudden discovering a vagina part?
He discovered the discovery of the lymphatic system in humans. That's like his big thing. And for his advancements of the theory of refrigeration anesthesia.
Okay, well, neither of those are placed on the vagina, and the fact that he decided to put his namesake on the vagina discovery
Those aren't lymph nodes?
is telling. No, lymph nodes are the ones that like carry things out and what's that called? Like they get rid of all your impurities and all your ick.
The lymphatic
That's why they're
system.
so very, very important.
Oh man, this is
There's under your armpits, they're in your thighs.
Like, I feel like people are going to actually learn something here.
Right?
Cervical lymph nodes, thoracic, adduct.
So you have them in every
thymus.
region because it's the clean.
Oh,
What? What was that?
UPS, you got a package.
Oh, what was I saying? Oh, you have it in every area of your body because it's the natural
Yeah.
remover of impurities. It what's the word I'm looking for? Not filters.
Toxins.
It removes toxins. It just gets rid of stuff. So like it comes out in sweat usually.
God, so you are learning things. Bartholin, everybody that didn't know, just like me. Is this like a common thing? Like everybody knows
No,
this? And I'm just, I
not
just didn't
honey.
pay
You know how I
attention.
am with the human body,
I just didn't
especially
pay
the
attention.
vagina
Yeah. You
and the whole
do-
vulva.
You do love the vagina.
I do. So no, this isn't common knowledge.
So what's the next one?
Oh, that one was for you. This is the one I found.
I don't have the. I started looking at all this other stuff.
Oh no,
so.
this you mean the next one on the list of what I picked.
Yeah.
It says, what if there's a tie in the Electoral College?
What if?
That's the second one that comes up. What if there's a tie in the Electoral College?
So we go from vagina to politics.
Yeah.
Which I guess go hand in hand, huh?
I mean, certain parts of the body do go hand in hand with politics. Yes.
Yeah. Well, we're not going to talk about that.
No politics here.
And then there's the next one.
Which is, what if there's a bump on your lip?
Here we go. Back to bumps.
Back to bumps.
Back to bumps.
So we had a very, very short amount of time before it then again became about me, the person typing in.
I just fucking farted. So big. Big ass fart.
Yeah, that's what made Puss move in my chair.
What if there's a fart that comes out my
No.
butt?
That's not on the list.
Okay.
What if there's a bump on your lip?
Lip bumps.
Lip bumps.
Or a blister on lip can result from a minor trauma, such as biting your lip or burning it with hot food. Herpes simplex virus is a common cause of contagious recurring lip sores called a cold sore or fever blister. A canker sore is another common cause of lip sores. So those usually what bumps are. Obviously, if you injure yourself, that's obvious. Thanks, Google.
I bit it.
Yeah. But then there's the real deal, like, cold sores, pimples, canker sores, oral mucosally, and herpes simplex,
Okay, the next one on the
We
list.
don't want to go into herpes or what?
I mean, I feel like that's a whole subject on its own.
There it is.
Do you know, I have so much to say about it.
What if there... Okay, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. Don't get saucy. I don't need it. The next one on the list is,
Wow.
What if there's a bug in my ear?
What if there's a bug in my ear?
Have you ever thought that? Have you ever thought, oh my God, there's a bug in my ear?
I thought that 2 or 3 nights ago, actually.
I
laying in
did
bed, so
too.
I think that all the time.
Oh my God, that's weird. And then I have all my little baby hairs by my ears.
Yeah.
And I feel like they always want to curl in and tickle. And then, yeah, in the middle of the night, I'm like, what is in my ear?
Yeah.
And then you know what I do when I think that? I'll be like, there's something in my ear. I know it. And then I listen because I'm like, if there was a bug in my ear, I'd hear it. Do you remember that on Survivor, that one episode where the girl actually got a bug crawling in her ear?
Oh.
And this girl was in fetal position, going mental. And I can't even imagine because it was like going, like burrowing in her ear, and she could hear it.
Yeah.
And it was so bloody, and oh God, it's just a fear of mine. And yeah, a couple nights ago, I wonder if it was the night where we found the little spider. Is that it?
I don't remember. No,
No.
it was after that.
That was my night that I did it.
Oh my God. I just can't even imagine. I mean, I'm just looking, camping. You can obviously.
Don't put stuff in my head that I'm going to freak out.
Well, apparently it's a pretty common thing that happens.
That's terrible to know.
I mean,
What,
that's the
just
idea of
for
a bug in your
campers?
ear is horrifying enough, but knowing that it happens somewhat regularly is even worse, is what this article says.
But they're saying only when you're camping.
No, just all the time. But chances are higher if you're camping or if you're sleeping in a cockroach-infested room.
Cockroaches.
Which you can't. I mean, we would know if there's cockroaches here because you're allergic.
I'm allergic to them, yeah.
If you have flying indoor insects, which we do, for some fucking reason, there's these little moths.
And they eat our clothes.
We have these bugs. We have 2 kinds of bugs. We got some spiders sometimes because we have a lot of plants in the
But
house.
we don't really consider those bugs.
No, and we let them stay to handle the other things. But there's little moth eggs being laid all over the place. Oh man, one time
We just don't know where they're coming from.
I must have vacuumed one up one time because
Oh yeah.
in the vacuum cleaner, where all the dust goes and then you empty it out, in that thing, there must have been like 1,000 little moths in there. That was fucking crazy.
And they were living amongst
alive.
the dust. And by the way, when you smush them, they turn into dust.
Big time. It's
It's
crazy.
just dust. They're made of pure dust. I don't know what's going on in there. But we have those, and
then
they go in
silverfish.
cycles.
Yeah.
By the way, like right now we don't have them forever, but then like every 3 weeks we'll have one day where they all hatch. And we're all on attack mode, all 4 of us 2 and the 2 kittens. And it's crazy. And then, yeah, we have, what are they called?
Silverfish. Right?
Silverfish.
Yeah. Got a lot of those.
They're just in everything you pick up
you can't get rid of them. I don't
in
know how
one
to
of
get
your
rid of 'em.
cabinets. Because they're in your cabinets. Like we never see them out in a boot.
Probably see one if we look around right now. I'll probably spot
No,
one.
those are like when you open a drawer or you go in the back of a cabinet.
The Kimpses do love to hunt those down and eat
They
those.
do. I will call Cookie over and she just yums them.
They all hunt together. It's really cute.
It's adorable.
It is. It's very sweet.
Oh, she's just such a natural born hunter.
Whoa.
I know. I took a deep breath and it came up.
Okay. And what's
That's it. That's unless I no. Oh, and then it says, "What if there's a tie in the Senate?" So right back. So it's
back to
body
politics.
part politics, body part politics.
STD politics, because people aren't looking up. They're looking up bumps and vages and lips for STDs.
Yeah, for sure.
So STD politics, STDs politics. It also says, what if there's a zombie apocalypse?
Oh, see, mine only went to there.
Oh, at the very end. There's what if there's a tie in Jeopardy, which is exciting, after the Senate one. And
Yeah.
then what if there's a zombie apocalypse?
Really?
Which is interesting that a lot of people are looking that up because, no joke, on the CDC website, guys, if you go to if you type in search CDC zombie preparedness, there's an entire PDF on what to do in case of a zombie apocalypse. And it says it's a tongue-in-cheek joke thing, but the CDC
Has had it up. They've never not had it up.
and they're not a joke. I would hope that
Yeah.
the CDC's not, hey, let's joke about
So
this now.
So here's the dilemma for me since I found this out. And this is a big dilemma. I think about it all the time. is just like you said, the CDC is supposed to be just fact, and keeping our health in line and in check by just pounding in facts. Here's what you do to be healthy, right? On the other side, they're telling us, you know what, but this is for a joke. Haha, this little thing. Now, I've never gone to a profession, and this is odds gone truth. I have never gone to anyone's professional website, whether it's a business, whether it's anything political, whether it's a run like a home business or a major business. I've never seen any establishment that's professional end up putting an entire tongue-in-cheek, I put my quotes up, on their website to be funny. That just doesn't compute. So either things that you say are absurd and you want us to think absurd things, or this is real.
I mean, it gives you a full-on, like, what do you do?
No, well, first of all, I want to know. I want to straight up ask whoever I need to ask in the CDC and go, are you a professional company that's telling me this could happen and that's why it's up on your website? Right? So in alignment, professional, everything on here is fact. Guys, this is real. Or are you a great big fat joke and that's why you're putting humorous material up? And we should just take everything else with a grain of salt. Both of them, by the way, I don't like. Me no likey.
It just doesn't.
Because either a real zombie apocalypse is coming. By the way, I took note what they said we should do, and I'm going to do the opposite. You know.
This was posted May 16th, 2011. It's been up on the CDC website.
Again, that's just terrifying.
Preparedness 101, zombie apocalypse, gives you a brief history of zombies. And then it tells you better be safe than sorry. You should have water, food, medications, tools and supplies, sanitation and hygiene, clothing and bedding, important
that's just all common sense, by the way.
It's like a natural disaster.
And by the way, if I remember correctly, because I don't have it in front of me, Sean always has the computer in front of him, and we sit on either side of a desk. But there's a picture of like a zombie-looking character looking through the blinds, correct? Isn't that? Did I remember that correctly?
Yeah.
And it's like how they're depicted in some movies. That's how they have it decorated. And then I remember reading a part where it said, like, zombies will take out the electrical.
Yeah, it goes into what's going to happen and how it's going to happen.
Right.
So they hit the electrical grid, so make sure you're fully charged and everything you need. They're going to hit the water supply, so make sure you have, iodine.
First of all, if it's a zombie apocalypse, zombies aren't thinking in order like check.
Right.
Check. I mean, unless it's some sort of disease that they're making sure was programmed into it.
Check. Electrical grid. Check. What water supply?
Electrical wires.
I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy that it's even on the CDC website.
Like, what are they doing? And you know what? It should say somewhere on there that it's a joke.
I mean, it does. It says that it's tongue-in-cheek, but...
What, at the bottom?
You know what's really creepy, though? At the end of the page here, it says, never fear, CDC is ready. If zombies did start roaming the streets, CDC would conduct an investigation much like any other disease outbreak. CDC would provide technical assistance to cities and states or international partners dealing with a zombie infestation. This assistance may include consultation, lab testing and analysis, patient management, and care and tracking of contacts and infection control. Kind of similar of what we've been dealing with.
I was just going to say, you're doing a terrible job. You gave us a lot of misinformation.
They did.
And I feel like now a zombie apocalypse is imminent.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure that's why it's on their website.
I love that the first thing they said they would offer us is consultation.
Right.
Guess what I don't need to discuss if there's already freaking zombies out.
There's a zombie.
I don't need to consult with you on what to do. You just need to do it.
Yeah, agreed, honey. Very good point.
Can't stand people like this.
Yep. Well, I feel pretty good about that.
I do too. I feel
pretty
like
good about today's episode.
Where do you go from there? I mean, jail. and
It just
the car pine cone incident.
don't break the law, everybody, and
Be nice to your neighbors' things.
be nice to your neighbors' things. Plan accordingly in case of a zombie apocalypse.
And what if there's a bump on my vag?
yeah,
Number 1. Googled.
search thing.
Mhm.
What if there's a bump on my vag?
Right.
Okay, well, it's been real,
It's been fun.
and bye for now.
Stay nutty, everybody.
Kimpses.
Kimpses. Mwah.
Bethany
Bethany
and Sean.
and Sean.
We are a couple of nuts talking